Most men freeze, that's the truth. When a beautiful woman enters the room, their body locks up, throat goes dry. All that confidence gone. It's not because they don't want her. It's because they're stuck in their heads overthinking, projecting outcomes that haven't even happened. And by the time they finally move, it's already too late. She's gone physically or mentally. But here's what men who win do differently: they move anyway. They walk into the fear, not like stiff robots, but with confidence, calm, and a real grasp of how attraction works. Not fantasy, reality. Psychology, human dynamics, primal triggers, because seduction doesn't start with the approach. It starts way before that. It's in how you carry yourself, your energy, your presence, how grounded you are in your masculinity. Neil Strauss called this inner game. Without it, all those pickup tricks are hollow. But when you enter an interaction already knowing your value, already believing you're the prize, the entire game shifts. And no, you don't need to be the best looking guy in the room. No six-pack required. No Rolex, you just need to understand one thing. Most women aren't approached by men who actually know what they're doing. They get hit on by guys who stutter, overcompensate, or fall into that dreaded nice guy trap. Needy, approval, seeking, weak. That's your edge. If you can approach with intention, with masculine stillness, you instantly stand out. Let me give you a story. I once watched a guy in a cafe, a beautiful woman by the window for over 30 minutes. He kept sipping his drink, adjusting his shirt, rehearsing his lines. Finally, he went for it, his opener. "Sorry to bother you, but..." And just like that energy shift, her guard went up, smile, polite, but spark gone. Why? Because he led with apology, with fear, with inferiority. Now compare that to another guy. He walks in, sees the same woman, brief eye contact, a quick smile, then goes about his business. 10 minutes later, as he passes, he casually leans in and says, "You look like you're plotting world domination over that latte." She laughs. Just like that, the door is open. Here's the twist. It's never about the line, it's about your frame. Your emotional state when you approach. Are you chasing validation, or offering a real, grounded moment of connection? That difference, that's everything. Fear doesn't vanish on its own. You train it out. That's why seduction isn't about women. It's about becoming a man who doesn't flinch in the face of challenge, whether it's a woman, a deal, or a decision. If you want her to feel safe, desperate, drawn in, and curious, you need to project certainty, not arrogance. Certainty. A man who's comfortable in his skin, not performing, not trying to impress with rehearsed lines, just present, curious, and capable of leading. Mystery, one of the most studied seducers, said, "Attraction isn't a choice." He meant that once you trigger the right switches in her mind, she's drawn, sometimes despite herself. But to trigger anything in her, you must conquer your own internal chaos, because fear of rejection, it's a myth. What you're really afraid of is ego death, that if she says no, it confirms the lie you secretly believe: you're not enough. But here's the truth: you are. You just haven't claimed it yet. Think of it this way: if she rejects you, she's only rejecting the version of you she saw in that moment. If that version was nervous, apologetic, unsure, can you blame her? But if you show up calm, playful, certain, now she's intrigued. Even if she's not available, she respects you, and that respect, it plants a seed. Sometimes that seed grows fast. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it never does, but the impression is made, and you didn't fold. That's the edge. Men who get women don't hinge their self-worth on one approach. They see it as a rep, another moment to sharpen the blade. And here's what most men miss. Women want to be approached, but not by just anyone. They want the man who gets it, who doesn't force his way into her space, who enters her world smoothly, confidently, like he belongs. So next time you see her, pause, breathe, don't rush, don't fidget. Look not like a predator, but like a man who sees beauty and doesn't fear it. Then move, speak, smile, say something real, something simple. Forget clever, be present, that presence. It's the most seductive thing in any room. Most guys obsess over saying the perfect thing, as if some magic line will unlock her interest. But that mindset kills the vibe, because it's rooted in need, and when your confidence depends on her reaction. You've already lost frame. She's not responding to the words. She's reading the man behind the words. Your eyes, your tone, your stillness, are you trying, or are you already enough? The real shift comes when you stop trying to get something and start offering something. Not "I hope she likes me," but "let's see who she really is." That shift changes everything. You stop being the boy chasing approval. You become the man who invites her into his world. Here's the truth: most of your fear is imagined. You're not reacting to her, you're reacting to a projection. You think she'll laugh or reject you, that people will stare, but it's all in your head, and usually none of that happens. What does happen is this: she senses your hesitation, and that becomes the reason she pulls away. You don't need to erase all fear before you approach. You just need to stop obeying it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in spite of it, and that's how you rewire yourself, through reps. Every approach, every conversation, every bold moment tells your system, "I got this." Neil Strauss said in the game, the greatest barrier to success is the fear of failure. That applies here. Most men don't fail with women because they're not attractive. They fail because they never try, they stall. They wait for perfection. But here's the kicker. Even if your first impression is clumsy, if your energy is right, she often gives you another shot. Because women want to feel something. Excitement, curiosity, connection, even if it's raw, even if it's unpolished. If it's real, you're ahead of 90% of men. You don't need perfection, you need presence. Speak with nothing to prove. Look her in the eye and build that presence long before you step up. Talk to strangers, make eye contact. Flirt with life, because when the moment comes, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your preparation. The man who owns the room didn't just get lucky. He trained for it. He got tired of playing it safe. He chose discomfort until it became his comfort zone. And women feel that. They don't always know what it is, but they feel it. In how you walk, how you laugh, how you carry yourself, not screaming "pick me," but radiating "I've already picked myself." That's the shift. You lead, not control. You offer, not beg. You approach, not to fill a void, but to share a life that's already full. When that's your frame, approaching is easy because you're not gambling your worth, you're offering your energy. And if she's not open to it, you walk, unshaken, unapologetic, unchanged. That calm, it's what makes her curious. Because calm is rare, and rare is irresistible.